Think about this for a second. You spent 12 years, maybe more, in school. You learned about geometry, Shakespeare, the periodic table, but what about the one thing that affects literally every day of your adult life? Money. Yeah, school taught you how to get a job to earn it, but did it teach you how to make it grow? How to make it work for you? Not a chance.
So I've got a serious question for you. After all that time, all those exams, all those late nights studying, what did you actually learn about how money really works? If you're like most of us, the answer is pretty much nothing. And here's the kicker you need to understand. That wasn't an accident. It was by design.
Here's the hard truth. This system is set up to create good employees, not wealthy owners. It's designed to teach you how to work for money, not how to have money work for you. So in this explainer, we're going to fix that. We're going to give you the financial rule book they conveniently left out of your backpack.
All right, first up, let's tear down the biggest piece of financial advice we were all sold. Just get a good, safe job. We were told good grades lead to a good college, which leads to a good job, and poof, you're set for life. But you know what? That plan is fundamentally broken.
Here's why. A job is active income. You are literally trading your time for money. And guess what? There are only 24 hours in a day. You have a hard cap on what you can earn. The wealthy, they understand this, so they play a different game. They focus on building passive income, money that comes from assets they own. Think about it. A stock that pays you a dividend or a rental unit that sends you a check doesn't care if you're sleeping or on vacation. It just keeps working 24/7.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. This is the core idea, the giant mindset shift. Understanding the difference between being a worker who's limited by time and an owner whose assets are not, well, that's the very first step toward real financial freedom.
Okay, so let's keep building on this. There is a force in the financial universe that is so powerful it's been called the eighth wonder of the world. And the crazy thing is, it's totally neutral. It can be your absolute best friend in building wealth, or it can be the anchor that drowns you in debt.
You know it's a big deal when Albert Einstein chimes in. He summed it up perfectly. This force is compound interest. And whether you end up earning it or paying it, well, that pretty much decides your entire financial future.
Now, check this out. This is where it gets wild. Just follow this timeline. Let's say you invest a single $5,000 at age 22. By age 32, it's grown to nearly 13 grand. Not bad, right? But then the magic really kicks in. The growth becomes explosive. Just look at the jump from age 42 to 62. That one-time 5 grand turned into over $226,000. You didn't work for that money. Time and compounding did all of the heavy lifting. That is the power we're talking about.
But remember what Einstein said, if you don't get it, you pay it. This number on the screen, what do you think that is? It's the dark side of compounding. That's roughly how much interest you'd pay on $5,000 of credit card debt over the years. The exact same mathematical force that can build you a fortune can also build you a prison.
Okay, so if compounding is the engine, what's the fuel? Well, that brings us to the most powerful and, honestly, the simplest rulebook for building wealth. And it all boils down to knowing the difference between just two words.
Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, laid it out this clearly. The entire game, the whole shebang, is about one thing: buying assets. The mistake most of us make, because we were never taught, is we spend our lives buying liabilities, and we trick ourselves into thinking they're assets.
So let's get crystal clear. What's an asset? The definition is dead simple. It's anything that puts money into your pocket. Period. A stock that pays a dividend, a rental property with a tenant, those are assets.
In a liability? You guessed it, it's the exact opposite. It's anything that takes money out of your pocket. Your car payment, that new phone on a payment plan, credit card debt. Those are liabilities.
Okay, look at this table. It's so simple, but so profound. Column 1 is assets. Column 2 is liabilities. Most people get their paycheck and immediately rush to buy things from column 2. The wealthy? They get their paycheck and buy things from column 1 first. Then, they let the money from column 1 pay for everything else. Your goal is simple. Make the asset column as big as you possibly can.
Now we get to the secret level of the game that school definitely didn't teach you. Taxes. Did you know that it's totally possible for a teacher making 70 grand a year to pay a higher tax rate than a billionaire? It sounds insane, right? But it's legal, and it's because of how they make their money. Your salary gets taxed as ordinary income at the highest rates, but money from investments, that's called capital gains, and it's taxed at a way, way lower rate. It's a rule designed to get people to invest.
And the crazy part is, the wealthy use legal tools that are available to almost everyone. Things like a Roth IRA, where your money can grow completely tax-free. A 401k, which lets you invest before taxes are taken out. Or an HSA, which is like the unicorn of finance. It gives you 3 different tax breaks. See? They don't cheat the system. They just know the rules you were never told about.
Okay, everything we've talked about so far has been about tactics. But the final piece of the puzzle, and honestly the most important one, isn't about numbers. It's about your mindset. It's about psychology. And it all starts with changing the questions you ask yourself about money. Most people look at something they want and ask, can I afford this? And what that really means is, can I handle the monthly payment? But the wealthy ask a completely different question. They ask, will this purchase make me richer or poorer in 5 years? That little shift, from short-term affordability to long-term impact, it changes absolutely everything.
All right, we've covered a lot. We've busted some myths, learned the real rules. But knowledge is useless without action. So let's stop talking and start doing. Let's turn all this into a simple 5-step action plan you can literally start this week.
Here we go. Step 1. Open a high-yield savings account. Stop letting your cash rot in an account that pays you nothing. 2. Open a Roth IRA. You can do it online in less than 15 minutes. 3. Start automatically investing in a simple S&P 500 index fund. Even if it's just $50 a month, just start. 4. Make a list of all your debts and subscriptions and cut just one of them. And 5. Spend 1 hour a week learning more about this stuff. Hey, you're doing that right now.
So here's the bottom line. None of this is rocket science. You don't need to be a Wall Street genius. You don't need a ton of money to start. The only thing that separates people who build wealth from those who don't is knowing the rules and then applying them consistently over time. You now know the rules.
I want to leave you with one last thing to think about. The system had more than a decade to teach you these basic rules of money, and they chose not to. That failure is not your fault. But from this moment on, what you choose to do with this knowledge, that's 100% up to you.